Hey guys, welcome in Lifeliqe VR Museum. Cool education app you can download from the whiteboard. My name is Ondrej and I'm co-founder and CEO of Lifeliqe, and let me welcome Taylor, my friend and the CEO and co-founder of Upload VR. And we are having today a small chat about future of VR in education and learning. And we got 5 questions each, and we didn't prep for those questions before. So it might be a little bit of surprise, and we might be able to caught the other a little bit of off guard, hopefully. And so maybe let me start. So my question is the VR learning and education. This is obviously a huge space. So where do you think is the best fit for the technology in whole space?
Yeah, I think it comes in a spectrum, on a timeline. I think right now, one of the largest opportunities would be looking at supplemental curriculum. You've got kids that are learning the hard sciences, maybe it's hard for some of them to comprehend physics or chemistry. Being able to offer that in an immersive environment so they can actually really interact with it. Maybe that's a structure similar to Khan Academy where they actually go after school and they work one-on-one with an instructor, whether that's virtual or in a real space. But I think it's going to come down to teachers really getting inspired around this technology and understanding how it can support their existing curriculums, and then convincing the schools to buy the gear and get it into the classroom. But in the future, I think there will be a major push toward AI-driven individualized learning as well. Leveraging immersive technology. So you've got a student that's maybe struggling with physics, but instead of being in a classroom of 20 or 30 or more students, the AI is actually working with them one-on-one. So it's like fully individualized learning. By being inside an immersive environment, you can understand really how they're interacting if they really fundamentally understand the content, and then you can adjust the experience to help them actually really understand it.
But the K-12 is from the whole learning, is just a very small part. So you still think that K-12 will be the sweet spot for the VR?
Well, I think, looking at some of the corporate side of things, looking at manufacturing, looking at construction, learning, the layout of a building, learning, the plans for the future construction, right? I think that will be one area. And you could sort of expand education, like you're saying, to include, so many things here. But when I think about education, I think about, how do we train people in the skills that they need to succeed, in certain industries, in life, socially, things like that. And I think it will likely start with, K through 12 supplemental type education, but we'll also, and we're already seeing sort of supplemental outside in the mechanical engineering, design, those spaces as well.
Cool.
So now I have to.
I think so.
So I guess I know you're working on a lot of different types of models, and you have a huge library of content. What are you seeing actually being the most engaging for people, and what type of experience do you think will be the most helpful to start?
2 questions. So what is the most engaging, and where is the best place to start? Yeah. I think the most engaging are those experiences where you never had a chance to try yourself. So I guess everywhere where we are bringing the user into like the micro world, so you're becoming like able to discover like the cells. So you're able to discover very small the things like DNA, RNA, etc., etc. That's super exciting for us, as well as if we can put you into the outer space. So when you can discover the Hubble telescope, or where we can bring you into the Jurassic time, so you can see the dinosaur itself. Yeah. So that's the power of the CG, which can bring you the photorealistic experience of the things which we can hardly see ourselves. And that's kind of like not only in VR, it really works with all of the 3D models. So everywhere where you have the surprise of something you never saw before. How to really start, then really depends on the type of users you are talking about. So we know that the students, they're all about the VR. So for all of the school pilots, the kids been just excited. I even heard that some of the kids said, well, you know what, I can just skip the school right now.
Yeah.
So we even recorded that some kids talking just between each other about it. But in another day, if we want to succeed, we need to make sure that technology will help teachers, and how to make it so convenient for teachers, how to help them with adoption. That's the whole the holy grail of technology in the classroom, and let's see how it will succeed.
Got it. So basically utilizing scale, utilizing points in space that it'd be nearly impossible for humans to hit.
Absolutely.
And then also getting the kids engaged and making sure the teachers have an opportunity to actually engage alongside them.
That's it.
Very cool. All right, so that made 2 questions for me, right?
No, this is the first one.
Oh, okay.
My second would be, what will happen in VR in education in next year? So it's been quite crazy year for the VR, 2016, and I know that you guys know like what is really happening on the scene. So what do you think it will happen in next 12 months?
I think it'll come down to the content that gets created. I mean, you guys are really, any of the companies that I know, really taking a very thoughtful, thorough approach. But I think it'll come down to content. I mean, the moment that there's a curriculum that mirrors something like Kaplan's curriculum or Pearson's curriculum for chemistry, and you're struggling in chapter 5, and boom, you're inside a chapter 5 supplemental pack, right? And kids know that, and parents know that that's available. I think that's the moment. So it's really down to the content creators to actually make something that's viable, that's supporting, I think there's a lot of value into having a large catalog of models, but being able to have a structure and a flow so that this plugs into an existing curriculum, I think really adds a lot of additional value and makes people actually understand how to engage.
Cool. So you expect something on the hardware side which will kind of support the whole learning experience or education path for VR?
Well, I think, accessibility-wise, it's a little early to expect to have, 20 vibes or riffs in a classroom, especially without, subsidies from the school, which I think is still potentially, I wish it weren't, but more than a year away from, the schools really adopting this. So when you think about that, then you're looking at the lower end headsets, you're looking at cardboard, you're looking at, a headset like a Gear VR, it's a plastic-based mobile headset. And I think that, even though personally I prefer high immersion VR, that there is value in being able to physically see something 3-dimensionally, and even if it's using a joystick and a gamepad, or it's using the touchpad on the Gear VR, to be able to actually manipulate it and comprehend it 3-dimensionally is very helpful.
I see.
So I think there will be different types of experiences that start creeping in. Again, if you're learning about history or anthropology and you can do a quick thing where you're, standing outside the pyramids looking around, I could imagine that being more engaging, more inspiring to students, and that's something that could happen very quickly.